John, a man of profound resilience, begins his account. If you've been thoroughly invalidated by your own mother in a judicial setting, you'll grasp why I did not flinch when she struck me. By that point, she had already expropriated everything. They fabricated my signature and disposed of the residence I was promised. What they failed to realize was that my grandfather had bequeathed the unvarnished facts to me, and I was finished concealing them. That morning, I strode into the Cook County Courthouse. From the rear bench, I observed my mother in her suit and my father trailing behind like a taciturn phantom. When the testament was recited, my name appeared solely as an onlooker. The clerk read a document, confirming the autograph of John Reyes. I had signed nothing. When I stated this to the magistrate, my mother's palm connected sharply with my cheek. "You will not devastate this," she hissed. This was not the moment I shattered. This was the instant I began to incinerate the deception. Growing up, I was the offspring they never presented at gatherings. While my sister, Emily, received everything from financial aid to an apartment deposit, I labored and was still labeled ungrateful. I remained only because grandfather was still here. At 15, he gave me a hair clip and declared, "You earned this residence." It was the one assurance I believed in. After he departed, they ceased extending invitations, and I was only notified of the sale when the sign was erected on the lawn. That night, I returned to my dwelling in New York. A knocking extracted me from my thoughts. It was Mr. Avalo, grandfather's neighbor. He presented me with an epistle from grandfather dated 6 weeks prior to his demise. "The house is yours. The documentation is beneath the drawer in the study." Someone had extracted that evidence. The subsequent morning, I examined the forged court instrument. It used the wrong middle initial T instead of J. It should have provoked a laugh, but it left me cold. At the probate office, the clerk showed me the will. The notary seal was dated 3 weeks after grandfather's funeral. They had executed a signature for a deceased person. The fervor in my chest was no longer merely sorrow. It was determination. Later, Aunt Marcia called. She possessed a scanned draft of grandfather's trust, listing my name as the sole heir, signed and attested before his death. I printed it, inscribing beneath it, "He entrusted me to convey the truth." Then, Miriam, a court clerk, revealed that the false will had been uploaded through the registrar's private channel. This was an internal collaboration. They did not realize it had just become a criminal matter. The first individual I confronted was my sister, Emily, who had forced her way into my dwelling. "You really believe anyone is going to credit some dusty draft?" she smirked. I countered with the metadata and the notary date after death. Her gaze wavered just for a second before she departed. The following morning, I composed a 10-page affidavit detailing every inconsistency, timestamp, and deceit. I submitted it to the court, copying the magistrate and the ethics board. By 8 a.m., the courtroom projector was illuminated with my verified document. The magistrate mandated a complete freezing of the estate. 4 weeks later, the judgment arrived. The fabricated will was invalidated. Grandfather's original trust was reinstated, and my name was the sole recipient. I never received their apology, but I obtained something superior: confirmation I was never the difficulty. I later transferred half the estate to a non-profit legal aid organization for contested inheritance disputes. The remainder I retained to reconstruct the house, not as a monument to sorrow, but as a foundation for someone else who requires a secure entranceway to stand upon. I observed someone who had outlived their silence. Silence is not survival. The truth does not require their assent to emerge.